over the 10-year period. It's been super cool because, like Ron and I were I guess the last original crew members, from the olden days. Kimberly, how long have you been around?
I think it's like 7.5-ish, 8-ish.
I think so.
I'm not sure.
But seriously, one of the most beautiful parts of Summerhill has been the fact that we've had so many people come into this band and play like monumental roles. And so, we had like the original crew, which was Richard Alonzo and Will Sanders. Richard is actually now my brother-in-law, which is super crazy. I didn't know at that time how I felt about him potentially marrying my sister, but here we are, and now I have 3 amazing nephews like from that dude. So super rad.
True.
And then then we stepped into a new season after that, and had this amazing guitar player. Actually, we had quite a few that stepped in along the way, and our friend John Housewright, and a buddy named Caleb Klingen, and then the infamous Adam Hudson.
Adam, we love you, man.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know where you're at now.
Yes.
But I love you and I miss you, man.
Absolutely. So talk about like next, because it seriously was almost like what felt like I'd say like 2 years, we would kind of reach one of those points where like everybody would quit except for me and you. Not quit, but like people would step into the next season of life or things like that. And you and I would always have this conversation. Is it time to hang it up, or is there more? And then God would be like, here's some more people.
Yep.
And so so after Housewright, Will, Richard, Adam steps in, and then what happened?
Paul. It was Paul first.
Well, Paul Nichols, our good friend, bass player, came over from Adam. Adam and Paul had a relationship, and he played with us, I think, 1 or 2 times, and we just hit it off with Paul.
Absolutely.
And then
it was
Kimberly.
Me. Well, Carson, and then me, I think.
Yeah, I think I feel like
Did we come in at the
I feel
same
like
time?
all of you were like made official, whatever that means, around the same time. Like,
okay, so
I even think Adam and Paul, you, Carson,
Beth
for a very brief stint with us. But I do have a story about Beth though. The very first time, the very first camp we ever played, Beth came out, and I think she was working at Bog Springs, and she was like, "Has anyone ever told you you sound like Todd Agnew?" And I go, "Oh, I hate Todd Agnew." She goes, "I know, me too." And I was like, "Okay, that's a cheap shot.
Come be in our band now."
It's a cheap shot." No.
Yeah.
I think she didn't mean it by that. But and sorry to Todd Agnew. I don't hate you. It was just a moment. So, but then Beth eventually became part of the band for like 2 months or something like that.
Short period.
Yeah. But Carson, adding Kimberly and Carson was like that was huge. Adding Paul and Adam, like that crew stuck around for several years.
Yeah.
And so that was cool. That was a huge. I really do think that was a massive turning point for us. I mean, even just adding female to the mix, because
even though I just stood there.
That's true.
Even more so than I do now.
But it was seriously the coolest. Obviously, addition, like you said, because we went from the raspy king over here to silky smooth Kimberly, and seriously, it took our band to a whole new level, because we could explore new songs and new almost kind of styles of music, because we had new people with new abilities. It was so cool.
For sure. So so that crew came in, and then we also started to add, like you mentioned, Caleb Klingen. He had filled in for us for a lot, and then later on he stepped in to play with us, which was awesome. Just love Caleb and that tone, that guitar tone, and but just Caleb's just a great friend of ours. And then we reached a point where we started saying hey, our sound guys are a key part of the band, and so we should include them into what we're doing. So guys like Cole, and then Zach.
Yeah.
Zach was with us for the last for a big stretch here, and it was amazing. Those guys added so much, not only to the technicality side of what we do, but just our friends. I mean, just amazing.
For sure.
Honorable mention to our first sound guy, I think Cody Alderman,
Yeah.
who really didn't ever. Hey, Cody.
Yeah.
Cody never wanted to do sound, but he wanted to tag along, and we wanted him to be with us. And so Cody
Yes.
came on board. But then Cody also not only did sound for us, but he also filled in on the drums.
Yes, he did.
With us from time to
first-
time.
yeah.
And so that's awesome.
Yeah.
So shout out to Cody Alderman.
Absolutely. And then the handstandingest man that has ever roamed the land, old Steven Stringer.
Steven.
We should insert that video right here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have not shown the world this video, but now now seems like the right time. So I don't know where the video will
It's gonna
come
be
from,
somewhere around here.
but take a moment
Oh my
and enjoy
gosh.
Handstand Time with Steven Stringer.
All right.
Cool. So not only is Steven great at handstands, but Steven is a great guitar player,
Absolutely.
and Steven was one of those like young students. He was in Monticello, him and Maddie Montgomery.
Oh, yeah.
And those guys started just kind of following along with us, and then we're like, oh, okay, these young guys know what they're
Absolutely.
doing, and
Yeah.
so Steven and Maddie started filling in at different times when we needed people, which was super cool. And then we've reached this time in our kind of history where we were moving away from Arkansas, and when we moved away from Arkansas, some of our obviously people closest to us, a part of the band, Carson and Zach, those guys did not feel like it was their time to make the move with us, and so because of that, God sent more people.
Absolutely.
God had already sent someone in your life. Who had been around and has been a huge part of the band even before she jumped in the band. But your wife,
Yes.
Alicia,
Yes.
stepped in to play keys with
To
us.
replace like one beret with another
Yeah.
beret.
Yes.
It's true.
I mean, yeah,
That's true.
Just makes sense.
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Carson brought a lot of humor and joy and great music and the whole thing. So it was tough to lose Carson,
Absolutely.
but Alicia stepping in.
Funny story. So yeah.
That's awesome. And then another guy that joined up, it's a really unique situation. Chris stepped in and started playing guitar with us.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, you knew Chris from past relationship.
Yeah.
But we had
didn't
never
know him.
met Chris
We didn't know him.
until maybe a month or two before
We
we
moved.
just picked
Yeah.
up and
Yeah.
left Arkansas, and him and his wife Zara joined us in that process, and so Chris has been a huge
been amazing.
part over the last year of what
Yeah.
we've been doing,
For sure.
taking us to another level.
Yeah.
For sure.
Got some honorable mentions.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
we've had a few that we've snuck in there, but seriously, like a couple guys that I personally think have contributed to like the culture of Summerhill, like even from the outside. And I'll just go and say it. Corey Walker.
Yes.
Corey Walker,
Corey.
he was actually one of Tark's students in his youth group.
Yeah.
And then ended up stepping in and playing bass with us.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing about Corey, so a former student of mine, that's cool in and of itself. And when we knew we were coming to California again, we were actually not going to even bring a bass player. And I just remember having a conversation with Corey. He's like, hey, I really want to come with you guys. And I was like, well, Corey, we're not planning on taking a bass player, and we just we won't be able to pay you.
Yeah.
And Corey's like, I don't know how to play bass, but I'm gonna learn how to play bass.
Yes.
And this was within like a very short window
Yeah.
of time. And he said, I'll come out there and you don't even have to pay me. I just
Yes.
want to come hang
Yeah.
out with you. And then Corey, amazing part.
He slayed it.
He's just
it was
yeah.
so, it was so
He
cool.
did. He learned bass quick, and
Yeah.
we ended up paying him. Don't
Yes.
worry.
Yes, of course.
But he also, the other crazy thing about Corey is although he was never an official member of what we call the herd,
That's true.
Yeah.
Corey got a tattoo of a buffalo,
Yes.
which is
did.
our mascot.
Yes.
And so Corey is really an official
It's forever a
part of
part.
the herd,
Yeah.
forever a part of the herd.